Hello, and welcome to the Portland Horror Podcast Massacre, a roundtable discussion on the topics of the horror genre from the perspective of three very different horror nerds. Welcome to episode 5. My name is Heather Alexander, and I'm joined tonight by my two co-hosts,
Jeff Dean
and Willy Greer.
And we're coming to you from Portland, Oregon. Tonight we're discussing YouTube creators turned horror movie filmmakers. But first, we'll kick things off with a brief discussion on the horror movies we've seen recently. All right. So, since my list is always...
You should definitely go first.
2 feet long. I'll go first. Okay. So I guess going chronologically into like when I saw them, I'll start with Hokum. So I saw Hokum around the time when we were doing Crypticon in Seattle. And Hokum is writer-director Damian McCarthy, who also did Caveat and Oddity. The star is Adam Scott. So I love Caveat and Oddity so much. I saw Caveat before anybody was muttering the name Damian McCarthy and was obsessed with it. Oddity, kind of the same thing. I feel like he got a little bit more on the map with Oddity, but I just loved it so much. So I was kind of expecting that just fandom of, oh my God, this is the best movie of the year. And while I can't wait to rewatch it, I wasn't as in love with it as I was the other two. And I think, and this has been talked about in some of the reviews, I think it's because of the ending. And I'm not going to talk about the ending.
Thank you.
But it kind of threw me for a loop and didn't feel consistent in the storytelling that I came to expect from, that director. But up until then, it was right on track, very atmospheric, darkly funny, very creepy, kind of scary, very weird. He brings the bunny back in a fashion. And Adam Scott is just a really unlikable character, which was a breath of fresh air because he's usually, like the nicest guy in the room. He's very clumsy and not clumsy, but like kind of, I feel like he's dim-witted sometimes.
He seems harmless all the time.
Yeah, harmless, I guess. Yeah. So like always a nice guy. And he's just like so cranky and kind of mean. I was like, yeah, this is the Adam Scott I want to see. But anyways, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's a great movie. It will definitely land third on my favorite of the director, but I can't wait to watch it again. Honestly, it's got some fucking crazy vibes to it.
I'm curious to see where this one lands for me, for sure. Oddity was my first.
Yeah.
And then I have to admit, Caveat didn't quite do it for me. So, curious about what the utter subjectivity of it all will do for me.
Yeah, I haven't seen Hokum yet either. I'm looking forward to it. Like you said, everything I've heard about it, the ending is kind of polarizing, which, kind of makes me think, like, isn't it like one of the most disappointing things ever when a movie is going along so well, but it just doesn't stick the ending?
It reminds me, like, he's like I guess he's not a horror author. He's an author who goes to a hotel to finish his book, right? And it has, in some ways, it has some Stephen King vibes to it that way. And
sounds a little Shining-y, yeah.
Well, yeah, kind of. In some aspects, definitely. And I love Stephen King, but, I can't tell you how many times I've read a Stephen King book and loved it. And then the ending came and I was fucking pissed. So it kind of like lands that mark of just like, oh, this is kind of like has some Stephen King taste to it. And then the ending is so disappointing that you're like, well, there it is.
Yeah. So you're definitely going to watch it again.
Yes. It was such a fun watch. And despite my feelings about the ending and, I feel like I watch and rewatch movies and get different opinions of them all the time based on like, seeing it from a different viewpoint. I was like that with Scream 7. Like, I saw it in the theater. I was very underwhelmed. And then I saw it again, a little stoned, and thought it was a masterpiece. So, you know, things
That'll happen
change.
sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
Is that the movie or that's you, right?
I mean, I like to think it's a little bit of both.
Well, so much of the time when you watch a movie, and the mood you're in, the company you're in, affects your opinion of it a lot of the time. There are certain movies made for group viewing, I think, especially theatrical viewings, and some that work better by yourself. So it's like totally... So I do think it's like very, very important to go back and watch. And I'll do this sometimes if there's a movie I really didn't like and everybody else liked it. I'm like, maybe I just did not get it, right? So you watch it again, and sometimes your opinion will change, and sometimes you'll be like, what are those people thinking?
That's been on my mind a little bit, actually, like specifically with, I've been feeling, I'm not exactly sure why, but I want to go back and revisit When Evil Lurks. Because I think I was just maybe in a bad mood the day that I saw it or something and just wasn't ready for it.
Did you think it was too dark?
I think I'd had it hyped up that it was really bleak, and that was like during a streak of like incredibly bleak movies. I think maybe Talk to Me had come out recently or something like that, and a couple of Speak No Evil maybe. So I was just like really like, fuck, I'm so sick of these types of movies that are just going for the full on bleak and fucked up. It takes in general, you know, like that type of movie is not really my jam, but especially like after last week, having seen a really, really dark, bleak, fucked up ass movie that I absolutely loved and gave 5 stars to, which we will be talking about later in the show. Just for whatever reason, it's like, I need to go back and revisit that again. I think it was probably better than I remember it being.
Yeah.
But not Speak No Evil. Fuck that movie.
What's a movie that you've seen recently, Jeff?
This came out on Shudder earlier this month, I believe. It's called Hearsay. It's a Dutch film. Shudder acquired it back in... Well, it was made in 2024, and Shudder acquired it and changed the name. It was originally called White Wyvern. White Witch, basically, is what it means. And
was it on streaming back then?
No.
So Shudder's release was
original
the first
title was White Wyvern, basically translated means White Witch. Shudder acquired it and changed the name to Hearsay.
And that was the first time it was available for people to watch?
In the United States. Not on the festival circuit.
Right,
or something
okay.
like that.
Yep.
So usually I don't count festival circuit movies as being released that year because only people that went to the festival were able to see it. So basically it's a 2026 release. Shudder released it. Yeah, basically it's set in a medieval Dutch village and tells the story of Frida, a religious young woman who is shunned by her community because she cannot bear children. She is ultimately cast out of her village and exiled to a forbidden forest where dark forces reside. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I know we're about halfway through this year, but this is right now in like my top 3 of the year so far.
Wow.
It has a brisk running time of like 61 minutes. So it doesn't wear out its welcome at all. It's based on a Dutch folk story about a white witch that resides in the forest that is friend to some and demon to others. It is very much like Eggers the Witch, with a healthy dash of Guillermo del Toro kind of thrown in there. I really enjoyed the film. Cinematography is fantastic. The lead performance by, I'm going to butcher her name, but it's Anneke Sleuters. I'm sorry, I butchered her name. But yeah, she plays Frida, and she does a fantastic job in this movie. It's got a pretty much a small cast, but it's really well done. Great creature design, and it's a pretty low-budget film, but highly effective. And it's on Shudder right now. Like I said, 61 minutes. I would highly recommend it, especially if you like slow burn, atmospheric films. I know a lot of people, that's not their jam, but I love it.
And subtitled. Yeah.
It is subtitled, yeah. So. But yeah, I really...
No, I love subtitled movies. I just have to be in the mood for them.
You can't be stoned and 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's not true.
But yeah, it's a... I've seen it 2 times. I watched it and then I watched it again like a week later to see, did I like this as much as I thought I did? And I do. So yeah, I really enjoyed it quite a bit.
That's
Solid
awesome.
stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Bring on all the witch movies.
Yeah. I'm a little burnt out on witches after my Crypticon thing,
Yeah,
but
that makes
because
sense.
I did like 4 weeks of just witches.
Like 4 weeks.
I did 4 weeks of research.
Oh yeah, research.
And I just watched witch movies. I was reading a witch book. I was
Yeah.
doing like all this witch, and then I got there and talked about witches, and now I'm like having kind of PTSD
you gotta-
with witches.
I need to take a break for
I
a
need to
month.
take a pic, but I am excited to see that one. Willy, what do you got?
I mean, I've got a lot of catching up to do, just for various reasons. Some of them circumstance, and some of them just my own brain doing what it had to do. Haven't seen a lot of new content, but I did catch up and see Primate since the last time that we talked. Not a lot to add, from what you guys said. Very fun, very brutal movie. Monkey fucks people up. Chimp. Sorry.
Man in a rubber suit.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about the suit, but it's like it was realistic enough for me to not think Uncanny Valley the whole time, but not realistic enough to where I was like sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it shows how much I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't know that it was a man in a costume. So
His head's a little big, maybe that's the only tell for me. But
okay.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I thought this is why it worked, is because it has a little bit of that, okay, I believe this is a chimpanzee, but something about it, its look-wise, is off. And I kind of gave it a creepy vibe to it, and not a cute vibe.
Well, I thought
I kind of think like if it was cute,
yeah.
because there's one opening scene where it's like interacting with the kids. I'm like, oh brother, this is like, it's gonna be
I don't know if I find Chips cute to begin with. Maybe Nope just kind of soured
Yeah,
me
I
on them
don't-
forever.
I
But
don't think any of monkeys are cute. I thought maybe it was just like a CGI, thing that they did to his face occasionally that gave it the weird thing. But if it's not,
I think it was like the mask in general kind of had a thing, but I'm sure there was maybe some CGI used at some parts of the film, but it
surely
was...
not for when he ripped off that guy's jaw. That was real.
Spoiler, come on. Yeah, that was a great effect.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I guess I think it was making a bit of a comment on invasive species in Hawaii. They talked about there's never been a case of rabies on the island until this movie happens. And of course he gets bit by a rabid mongoose, and mongoose were initially imported to take care of Hawaii's rat problem, and then all of a sudden they had a mongoose problem. So you can look at chimpanzees, mongooses, rabies, and probably also white people as invasive species, as in the context of this movie in Hawaii.
Didn't they have a chicken problem on one of the islands that they brought in chickens to get rid of a problem, and then now they have a chicken problem?
I'm not sure about that one.
Okay.
I'll have to Google that one later.
Okay.
Yeah, another thing I liked about it is it's pretty much an isolated environment. The whole thing takes place on that cliffside mansion in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Bottle movie.
Yeah, and a great setup of them being trapped in the pool.
Yes.
I thought
So good.
was like really well done, and the lighting was pretty fantastic during that sequence.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Agreed.
My wife was sometimes, she'll be in a certain mood and she'll be a little extra sensitive, and she was very, very stressed out and borderline kind of sad, but didn't want to turn it off. So that's kind of a testament to how compelling it was.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
All right. Another movie I'll talk about is Exit 8. So this is a Japanese movie directed by Genki Kawamura? ?
Sure.
Based on the video game, it is an anomaly horror movie, which I guess those are on the rise in terms of popularity, which I hadn't heard of, and I need to do some more research on. But this is essentially it has the liminal space kind of vibe, but it's about a man who gets off the subway train and is working his way through the tunnels to an exit, and he gets turned around. He kind of doubles back. And then he realizes that he is passing the same man in a briefcase with a briefcase. He's just passing the same guy over and over again. He's passing the same posters. He's passing the same pile of trash. And then he starts to realize that he has to figure out how to get out based on the clues that he's given. So essentially, if you see an anomaly, go back. If you don't see an anomaly, don't go back. Which means that you have to really pay attention to the anomalous events that are happening in every moment. And that could be that poster is changed, or that thing is out of place, or, you know, whatever it is, that doorknob is moved, or that vent is different. So he has to pay attention. And when he sees an anomaly, he turns back, and then he finds the exit sign, and the exit sign essentially goes from 0 to 1. And then, so when he's on the right path, the numbers increase, and he has to get to the point where he gets to exit 8, and then he's free. But if he messes up, he starts over, and the exit sign is back to exit 1. So you see him at one point, you know, get to like exit 5, and then he fucks up and he's back to exit 0, and you're just like, Jesus Christ. So it's kind of a Groundhog's Day vibe to it a little bit, which frustrates me because I don't like the Groundhog Day. And I say that, and I love Happy Death Day, so I don't really know, but I just get bored.
And Until Dawn.
And Until Dawn, yes. I get bored with repetition, but...
Is this based on a video game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was really good. There's a little bit of layers of, like, guilt and doing the right thing, and all of that. It gets a little weird and existential at the end, but it was super fun. I highly recommend it. Yeah, I think I rented it, so it's on streaming somewhere.
Yeah, I regret not catching this one in theaters.
But... Yeah, it was in theaters for like a week. Mm-hmm. But
I love a good liminal space.
Yeah.
They seem to be getting very, very popular these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you saw that within the last month, or was it?
Yeah, I think it was the last month or so. Yes, it was the last month. Yeah.
Cool. I want to check it out. It sounds good. Mm-hmm. I don't mind the time loop type movies. It's kind of interesting. Just like,
let's go, guys.
Come on, get to the end.
Get to the end. I've got shit to do.
I do wonder what the obsession, the kind of collective unconscious obsession is with them right now. Like, I wonder if it has to do with like reincarnation.
What, the loop or the liminal space?
The loop.
Okay.
The idea that you can start over, but like be a little bit wiser.
Mm-hmm.
Trying again.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally a video game thing, right? I mean,
yeah, I guess like Until Dawn was like that too.
Yeah,
that was a video game.
Yeah. It's just nice that, because for so many years, you know, video game movies that were made, or video games that were translated into movies never really adapted very well. But when they did the whole scenario, well, hey, we can just start over and keep, like when you're playing it.
Right.
Let's start over. I died. Let's start over again. That was kind of a creative way to implement that version of playing video games into the movies.
It's also why I'm not great at video games, because I'm like, I fucking died again. I already did this.
Yeah.
But it makes me think back. Sorry to digress a little bit, but that's kind of what I do apparently. It does make me flash back to the video games of our childhood and how like comparatively just horribly nihilistic they were. Because, like, every video game back then was just, like, you complete the level, you do it again faster and faster until you die. But you can actually, like, finish games and win them now and stuff. It's cool.
I am not a gamer at all. I don't think I haven't owned a gaming system since Atari 2600 back in the 1980s. So.
Yepers.
So...
I mean, I played Lara Croft endlessly, Tomb Raider, and I never fucking won one of those games. She was always, like, falling off a cliff or getting eaten by an alligator. But I would just start right over. Yeah. Try to climb that mountain.
And then after, like, 16 hours, you're like, I give up.
I know, right? It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Got to work in 2 hours. What else you got, Jeff?
The next movie I'm going to talk about is one I watched, I don't know, a few weeks ago, called Dolly.
Dolly, I forgot that one.
2026. I saw this on Shudder. I'm not sure if it got a theatrical release or not. But it's written and directed by Rod Blackhurst. Basically about a couple going hiking, and they stumble upon Dolly, a demented woman who likes to kidnap people and force them into being her babies that she can take care of. Now, movies like this, it's basically a hillbilly that, crazy hillbillies that people run into. It's nothing new, but you need to add a few new things to give it a nice twist. And this movie has some pretty fucked up scenarios that I thought, like, okay, I've never seen that before. So some of them
Do you want to explain some of them?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So basically, the male of the group, of the couple, is severely injured and left in the woods. And Dolly takes the female and puts her in a crib, changes her diaper. This is a grown woman. She's like probably 25 years old. And then gives her a bottle with, I assume, is breast milk. It's hard to say. It's kind of off-colored. And then when she won't take the bottle, she's going to breastfeed her. I'd never seen that in a movie
God, that
either.
was so cringy.
Yeah. And then there's just a lot of wonderfully disturbing things. I thought Dolly's mask was pretty effective. The one aspect about the movie that kind of ruined it for me is our victim.
Which victim? The boy?
The main girl.
Oh,
She never really fights back, which I'm kind of like... I know, like, the guy who's trapped in the room next to her, we won't reveal who he is in the story, but he tells her, just do what she says, just do what she says. But it's like, she goes through so much stuff just doing what she says, and it's like so much abuse. I'm like, why doesn't she try to fight back?
Because the woman is like fucking 6'4" and like 300 pounds. You know, I mean, she's a gigantic fucking woman.
Yeah, it just seems like some of the things that she's forced to do, I'm like...
like a wrestler. This woman is like a wrestler. Like, how do you fight that?
Yeah, I just thought, like... I just kind of like... It seems like after a while, taking so much abuse, you'd be like,
it's not worth it.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Right, Willie, did you see it?
I don't know if this is going to be my thing.
Yeah. I don't see you liking it.
I thought it's only like an hour and 20 minutes, but it felt about 20 minutes too long. It kind of keeps going on and on. I'm like, okay. The first 45 minutes, I was kind of like, I like this, but after a while, it's like the same thing over and over and over again. But speaking of Jaws getting ripped off, this has a scene with our poor male guy, male hiker who gets some jaw trauma. That is pretty well, and it's like prolonged, like different stages of slowly.
Oh my God. It is. It was probably one of the most memorable scenes in a horror movie this year, I feel like.
That's two of them, with Primate and this one, jaw trauma.
Jaw trauma.
And also between Barbarian and that one segment of VHS Halloween, is this becoming kind of a little trend?
Oh yeah,
too?
like the breastfeeding.
It might be. Yeah. Well, that's like that was like one of my.
We should do a trivia round.
Yeah. You could do the crib. No, is that what it's called? The 70s movie?
The Baby.
Yeah.
The Baby. Yeah, you'd love that one.
Yeah, totally.
Is there breastfeeding?
I don't remember, but there's
probably
it's a grown man in a diaper in a crib. But...
Oh, was the other breastfeeding? The Italian movie.
Oh,
Burial Ground.
Yes,
she
yes,
breastfeeds a young man who's probably 35, who is like a 35-year-old actor, who's playing like a 12-year-old who you still shouldn't be breastfeeding, but such a great scene.
Yeah, and then I think like the end credits for Dolly has kind of a country musical number where they basically announce, "Oh, Dolly 2's coming."
Yeah, because that's just how we roll.
Yeah. So yeah. So it's not great, but it's I think if you're going to watch a movie called Dolly and you watch the trailer, you know what you're getting into.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was texting Jeff and Willy the entire time I was watching Dolly. It was before Jeff had seen it, and I was like, "You guys, this movie is just ick vibes all the way." And also, Willy, don't watch it.
I'm very sensitive.
And like one of the things I was doing while watching it was like, is this something we could show at Slaughter? And for a while I'm like, I think so. Then after a while I'm like, oh no.
No.
I'm like, this is going to disturb too many people.
Too many people. I don't even really want to see it again. All right. Moving on. Another movie that I watched recently was called The Deep Dark. It is a French movie, written and directed by Matthew Turi. This was super fun. Takes place in like I'm gonna say 50s ish. It has a couple dates there that it takes place, but I think the majority of the movie I think is about 1950s. And it's about these miners who are tasked to take this professor down into the mines super deep, like deeper than they would go safely, because the professor paid all this money and the mining company needs money. So they go down there, and he won't really tell them what he's looking for until they actually discover this like sarcophagus in the deep dark. And, what's in this sarcophagus? A monster. A crazy fucking monster. The monster was actually pretty cool, I thought. And he just rips people open, and there's guts everywhere, and it's a good time. Very claustrophobic, very kind of dark, lit by lanterns, and there's no way out because there's a cave in. And so they're trapped in this really deep cave system with this monster, and they're trying to figure it out, but they just keep dying, and it was really fun. Very talky for a subtitled movie. I feel like some subtitled movies you're like, okay, I can keep up because the pace of which they're talking is very kind of languid and spaced out, but this was just kind of very like, you could not look away for a second without missing dialogue, which I was trying to do my nails, so it didn't really work out for me, but it was pretty fun. If you're looking for a claustrophobic creature feature, The Deep Dark. Again,
what country is it?
It's French.
French. Okay.
Yeah. I rented it too, so you too can rent it for a few dollars.
Creature effects good?
Yeah, I mean it's CGI, but I think it was pretty decent. The creature is like 8 feet tall or something, and it's got wings, but he's also he's almost like vampiric in a way, but with these really big, horrible wings. Yeah, kind of skinny and.
I don't think I'd even
gross.
heard of this one. So it just came out. It's relatively new.
Yeah, I mean,
this
it's
year.
2026. I think it came out maybe a couple months ago. It's been on my list for a bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
What you got?
The next one I'm going to talk about is an older movie from the 80s. And the reason I watched it is because for my last round at trivia, I did Psycho 2. And that film is directed by Richard Franklin, who did Road Games and a couple other films that I'm missing right now. But he did a movie in the 80s called Link, which I had not seen, so I decided I'm going to check this movie out. Basically, it's about a young woman played by Elizabeth Shue who gets a job as an assistant to a professor played by Terrence Stamp on his cliffside mansion. He is a kind of zoologist who specializes in chimpanzees. She goes to this cliffside mansion to be his assistant / housekeeper. And she is met by Link, who is a 45-year-old orangutan who dresses like a butler and smokes cigars. And yeah, it's a bizarre movie. Terrence Stamp's professor goes missing about a third of the way into the movie, and Elizabeth Shue is stuck with Link and these chimpanzees in this cliffside mansion. The movie is bizarre. The second act is mainly Elizabeth Shue kind of monkeying around with these monkeys. It's bizarre. The movie doesn't even get into anything horror-wise until the third act, when Link decides to be the dominant species and starts kind of stalking Elizabeth Shue and having strange behavior patterns. The movie is weird. I don't say it's good. It's really slow. And like I said, the third act is where things start to pick up a pace. There's one really, really bizarre scene in the movie where Elizabeth Shue is going to take a bath. She gets naked and she's standing in front of the tub.
Full naked?
It's like a side shot.
Oh.
And Link is standing in the doorway, and they just kind of stare at each other for like an uncomfortable amount of time. It's like she's all, Link, please shut the door and leave. He doesn't, and she's just there. She doesn't do anything to get him out. They just kind of stare at each other, and I'm like, what is going on here? Yeah, it's bizarre. Elizabeth Shue's boyfriend and two friends show up in the mansion in the last few minutes, so you can have some carnage in the movie. Right. And I did read that Link, who is the orangutan, was actually, it's a real monkey doing all the acting in this. And some of it was kind of like, how are they treating this monkey okay? But because he's smoking cigars and stuff, and they have him dressed up as like in a butler outfit. So it's bizarre. It's not really a good movie by any means, but if you're a, monkey cinephile purist, you'll have to watch it. But yeah, weird movie, totally bizarre.
A little deja vu from talking about primates just now with the mansion setting and the friends showing up, but also like there was a small handful of movies back then with this. You could maybe count Phenomena, Argento's Phenomena, but there was like Shakma,
and there's like
Monkey Shines,
and there's like something Tales of Kilimanjaro.
Mountains of Kilimanjaro or Shadow of Kilimanjaro.
Yeah. It's like in the 80s had a bunch of those kind of like monkeys run amok movies. But what was like Primate, and then there was something else. There's something else in the 80s that kind of was like very prevalent. Oh, those like, they're not horror movies, but the Clint Eastwood Every Which Way But Loose.
Right Turn and Clyde.
Yeah. But so I wouldn't really recommend Link at all. But
back when CD Game Exchange was here, I came across the DVD of Link, and I was like, I love Elizabeth Shue. I hate monkeys. Don't hate me, guys. But monkeys freak me out. Any kind of chimpanzees, orangutans, whatever.
Is it sock monkeys?
They're okay. So anyways, I was standing in the store and I watched a trailer for it because I was like, maybe I'll buy it. And then I watched a trailer and I was like, this looks like hot trash. And I put it back on the shelf. So, yeah.
Well, I watched the trailer before I rented it, and I was like, I'm like, this could be hot trash, but it can also be fun hot trash.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, its biggest crime is it's kind of boring.
It's boring, yeah.
And getting rid of Terrence Stamp is a bad decision. Because he's pretty eccentric in the first third of the movie. I'm like, oh, he's pretty fun in this. He can always carry his weight and chew up scenery. But no, after he exits after the first third, it's you just got Elizabeth Shue and a bunch of monkeys running around. A weird monkey,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I just rented. Actually, I bought digitally because I was so confident, and I don't regret it. Lee Cronin's The Mummy, written, directed by Lee Cronin, who also did Evil Dead Rise, is the thing that he's probably most known for, even though he did The Hole in the Ground, which I also loved. So Evil Dead Rise was one of my favorite fucking movies of the year in 2024. And so I had been wanting to see Lee Cronin's The Mummy in the theater, and I had plans. They fell through. And I just never got to it. So as soon as it dropped, literally, I found out it dropped that day, and I immediately bought it and watched it that night. And I have to say, I was not mad at it. It's not a great movie, and I think that a lot of people that are are more particular about horror than I am probably think it's a bad movie.
What are you looking at me for?
I'm not looking at you. I'm looking outside. But I loved it. I mean, I didn't love it. I had a lot of fun with it. It is very Evil Dead. It is Evil Dead meets The Mummy. And I didn't hate that, honestly. There was a lot of creativity to it. But if you're thinking about any of the Universal Mummy stuff, just throw that right out the window. It is nothing like any of the Universal Mummy stuff. This little girl is essentially kidnapped from her home and is missing for like 5 years or 8 years. And then they find her alive and she is not well. She's really fucked up looking. She is not right in the head. And they're basically like, she just needs some love and affection and some time to heal. You should take her home. And you're like, this fucking woman needs to be strapped down. She's literally a crazy bitch. And like, do not take her into your house. She's probably like 18 by now. So she's full grown woman. And they take her home and, lo and behold, not well, just a danger to all. Literally wrapped in strips of flesh that have like writings on them. Super fun movie. Very Evil Dead. Like I just, why is this called The Mummy? It's just an Evil
do you
Dead
think
movie.
like it's just a bad title? Because it's called Lee Cronin's The Mummy, right?
Well, yeah, but you're not going to call it The Mummy because then it's like, well, how many mummy movies are there? There's like, 40 fucking mummy movies. So you have to...
Specifically, I guess they're reviving the Brendan Fraser one not too far away from now. So they had to differentiate.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to basically be like, okay, yeah, but I do agree that maybe if you named it something else than The Mummy, like...
Evil Dead Mummy.
Evil Dead Mummy. I love it. And then it's part of the Evil Dead franchise, which I'm sure they would hate. But
I just don't know, like, how many fans are there of, like, I mean, there's not like a plethora of mummy movies made in the last 40 years.
Yeah.
Right? So it's,
yeah.
So I don't know if there's gonna be people clamoring for give me, Imhotep or
right.
Karis the Mummy. That's only old school fans that like.
Well, the other thing is that Adam pointed out, my husband, he's like, "Who's Lee Cronin?" It's like, come on, dude. It's like everybody know who Lee Cronin is, and he's like, "No, they don't. Only horror nerds." And I was like, "Come on, everybody knows."
Well, I did think it was interesting that, like, because there's very few directors that have that, like, as part of the title. Like John Carpenter had that.
Right.
Even early in his career.
Bram Stoker.
Well, yeah.
But not the director, obviously. But it isn't the name of a creator.
Yeah, but
in the
like
title.
you talk about Bram Stoker's Dracula.
The Dracula, yeah.
But Bram Stoker was, by that time, iconic horror writer. I mean, he wrote one of the most famous. So everybody knew who. No, I'm not going to say everybody knew who Bram Stoker was, but.
Okay, so you're talking about how well known they are, and not
when it's
just
made, because
okay.
John Carpenter's
I
The
understand.
Fog,
Yeah,
right. That's the first time he had his name like part of the title, right?
I thought it was The Thing.
Definitely Halloween.
Oh, John Carpenter's
I'm
Halloween.
not sure about Assault. I couldn't tell you if it was above the title on Assault, but that was one thing he pushed for with Halloween. He said, I can make your movie for $300,000 as long as I get my name above the title.
Yeah. Like
and that was a bold move for sure. People are like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is this guy? But,
Yeah.
like I don't have a problem if, like, especially like if Cronin puts Lee Cronin's The Mummy, that kind of tells you this is his version of The Mummy. Not anybody else's.
But it's not any version of any mummy that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Though, it's
yeah.
completely different. It's like, it's not even like Egyptian. It's not, there's...
Well, did you hear, I mean, I didn't do the research on this, but like, did this script start out as an Evil Dead script?
That's what somebody told me too, but I thought he left Evil Dead Burn to come and do The Mummy.
Okay.
Is what I originally heard, and then somebody, maybe it was you, told me that it was originally an Evil Dead script. So I don't know. Regardless, it's fun. Don't take it too seriously.
I'm gonna see it. I'm curious about it, so I'll watch it.
Yeah. Do you have any other movies?
No, but I wanted to talk about one thing because we were talking a little bit about, monkeys. And this is in the same genre as Nature Run Amok, Animals Gone Crazy. Have you guys seen the trailer for Hungry?
The Hungry Hippo?
The killer hippo movie? I saw the trailer and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen a movie that has a killer hippo.
It's called Hungry Hippo, or just Hungry Hippo?
It's just called Hungry, at least.
Are you sure?
Well, the trailer that I saw today
just
said Hungry, and it comes out in June. And I'm like, okay, this looks fun.
Yeah.
And then I had heard this was based on Hungry Hippos, but I'm like, okay, you got a killer hippo in it, I guess, but I don't see it's not trying to eat marbles or anything like that. So.
Right. We had theorized
That's the tagline. It's not eating marbles anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had theorized in the other podcast that I'm in, Scariest Things, that they were going to bite off the heads of everybody and then shit them out like little marbles.
Oh God, I hope so.
Could be.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but I saw the trailer and I'm like, okay, this looks fun.
Yeah.
I've never seen a killer hippo movie. They pretty much done every other animal.
Right.
But
okay.
No hippos.
So I do want to wrap this up soon, but I'm going to name some movies and tell you if I like them or not. So I saw a movie called Thinestra. It's a diet pill movie. So there's another horror movie coming out that I think is in theaters right now, very limited release, called Saccharin. I think that's what it's called. And that is also a diet pill horror movie. So we've got 2 diet pill horror movies. Bad things happen when you try to lose a lot of weight with drugs. And so Thinestra was fun, not a great movie, but I thought it was worth my time at least. That is a rental. There's also a movie called Itch, about a virus that makes you itch yourself to death, and then you kind of get angry like a zombie, and then you kill people. That was terrible. Don't watch it. Well, I don't want to say don't watch it. I don't like to say that, but I did not enjoy it. Sirat, about a father looking for his daughter in the desert at these raves. She's been missing for a while. That movie was so good. It's hard to say it's a horror movie, but there are some horrific scenes in it. It's very tense. It's very edge of your seat. I loved it. Again, not straight horror.
I really want to see this one.
It's really good, especially as you get into the third act. Is just my mouth was just hanging open for a good 20 minutes. So that was really fun. Night Patrol, with my boy Justin Long. Wanted to love this, did not love this. It's vampires and police officers. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there that will love it, but I am not one of them.
Between that and the body cam, do you have something against cops, Heather? I mean,
I actually don't. I actually do not have anything against cops, but they are portrayed in film in a lot of negative light. But I actually watch quite a few cop TV shows. Like The Rookie. I'm a big fan of The Rookie. Okay.
Is that
Nathan
old?
Huh?
Oh, that's new.
Nathan Oh yeah. Well,
but is that based on the old? There was an old show in the 70s called The Rookies. I was wondering if it's
no, it's not that. It's been out for quite a few years. I think it's on. I don't even know what season it's on.
I didn't mean to start this topic.
Oh
Sorry.
no. But it has Nathan Fillion in it, and
Okay,
it's really fun. That's all. I think those are my most recents, and then we're gonna talk about our favorite movie that we're all obsessed with. But we'll get to that in a minute. All right.
Wait, I don't get it.
I know. What movie is that?
Shut up, you guys.
Dolly? No.
Dolly, yes. Dolly and Primate and Link. All right. So those are our new releases, you guys. Check them out. Most of them are streaming. Some of them may still be in the theater. I don't know. I don't know if Hokum's still in the theater or not, but
That'd be nice if it was.
yeah. Moving on to
Yes.
YouTubers that turned horror filmmakers.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the topic that I wanted to do. It seems like it's really kind of exploding right now, so it feels topical enough. And also, at this point, I think I have a YouTube problem. I've sacrificed most regular TV except for when my wife forces me to watch Saturday Night Live. I spend probably 80% of my TV time on YouTube. I think it's my autistic happy place. But there's a lot of fantastic film critics and analyzers on there, and I really love watching, having watched this wave of evolution happen over the last several years, where we have not only aspiring filmmakers, but sketch comedy people and straight up film critics who are evolving into filmmakers. It seems like a very natural progression, for a very committed critic. I think as you do criticism over the years, you're basically figuring out what your own taste and criteria are and what works and what doesn't for you. And that kind of helps form perhaps a vision when you become a filmmaker. So it's very exciting, like we get, I think several of these people have dropped out of film school just to start making shorts on YouTube and can kind of learn by doing, get instant feedback, and bypass the system in the industry until they absolutely have to work with it. And even in some cases, like Markiplier, bypass it altogether. Like he had enough money to self-distribute Iron Lung, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I like seeing this, and a lot of the films that have been coming out have really been the game changers. Most obviously, of course, the Philippou brothers and Curry fucking Barker. My God, it's been really amazing just watching him become the man of the hour over a fucking weekend.
My God.
But I'm getting ahead of myself.
What movie do we want, or what creators do we want to start with?
I'm gonna just do like a very, very brief acknowledgement of where it all kind of started.
Okay.
But I think we have to acknowledge. We don't have to. Maybe I shouldn't even. But like we have to maybe like pay some respect to the nostalgia critic, who I've never really liked, and who is his career has taken a turn over the last several years. But he did kind of, with his League of Super Critics, start this whole YouTuber makes a movie thing with his trilogy of Kick-Assia, Suburban Nights In, To Boldly Flee. And that's all we really have to say about those. And then some of the more popular ones, Smosh the movie, Fred the movie, and Smiley from Shane Dawson, which was, I think, the first horror movie that got made. And none of those are acknowledged as very good. And to be honest, I haven't seen any of them. But
I have seen Smiley, and I enjoyed it when I watched it, but I haven't seen it since.
I feel like I would find it hard to dislike, Keith David in anything. But I don't know. You want to start with David Sandberg? He's first on my list here.
Sure, that's where I have first on mine as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. But so yeah, he kind of made a name for himself with his Pony Smasher channel, and he basically spends all of his time on there finding clever and creative ways to kill his wife. These are all just little set pieces where his wife is alone in the apartment, spooky noise, she investigates, it's a ghost or a monster or some kind of thing, and it winds up killing her in some kind of cleverly choreographed way. They're fun. They're all little bite-sized set pieces. If anything, with the way that the jump scares are choreographed, they kind of feel like audition reels for the Conjuring films, which makes sense because he wound up doing Annabelle Creation, which for me is one of the better films in the Conjuring universe. One of my favorites, anyway. They are fun. I do like them, and he's got a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff for aspiring filmmakers to show you how he did things. If I had one complaint, I don't even know if it's a complaint. I almost feel like it's by design in some weird way, because he does go out of his way to have his wife's character make the best decisions possible in dealing with whatever it is that's stalking her in the apartment. with the exception of just leaving the fucking apartment.
Yeah.
And the one short that I would recommend for bypassing that is called Attic Panic, and that has to do with her kind of just getting supernaturally locked in the attic, so you never feel compelled to like scream like, why aren't you just going out the front door? But just the fact that everything else she does in these shorts is so relatively comparatively smart, and that she never does that, it feels like he's trying to acknowledge it without just saying it. Like, okay, we have to accept that she can't leave just so the short can happen. Mm-hmm. So I'll try to make everything else as motivated and justified as I can. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I like his shorts. Attic Panic was good. I like Closet Space. Was pretty fun. And a lot of these are like 3 minutes. Yes. I think he packs a lot into 3 minutes. And there's the one, See You Soon, which is 14 seconds. Have you seen that one?
I did not see that one.
Oh, yeah. They all kind of have pretty much the same kind of jump scare payoff, which I think works well. But I totally see how he and these short films translated to his big screen career, because they do feel, like you said, almost like audition tapes to like, hey, I can craft a pretty spectacular and well edited sequence.
For sure. And like one of those shorts, I mean, like infamously, Lights Out did become a feature film, and I haven't seen that one. Can you comment on it?
Yeah. The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the movie a lot. It suffered from that thing that horror movies suffer from when there's something to investigate and they find files or a tape or something, and they happen to press the tape and it's exactly where it needs to be to tell you the relevant information, or they're flipping through files and it's exactly like the file that they need and it's the paper that they need and the paper is highlighted and circled and, and so like it does suffer from that a little bit. But I thought the story is really creative. The story of the, I don't think it's not a demon, it's a ghost, kind of. But the story of how this entity came to be with this family particularly, I really liked a lot. And the way to defeat it was really good. It was a very creepy movie with the lights off, lights on thing. And I really enjoyed the kids. So the teenage girl, her boyfriend, I think it was her boyfriend or one night stand or something. And then the brother. So those three are kind of like the main people who are, because her mom is like under siege by this entity and it's like not leaving the house and stuff. So I actually really like the whole cast. I did watch the short Lights Out by David Sandberg, and I enjoyed it. It definitely took the scene in the hallway where she's like lights on, lights off, lights on, lights off, lights on, lights off. That is basically right in the movie.
Right.
It's the opening, pretty much.
Well,
and there's
like
a
in the
whole
warehouse, but in her apartment when she discovers it in her apartment, and she's like, and it's like the hallway scene.
Yeah. There's a lot of those scenes where that sequence
totally
repeats itself in different scenarios.
Yeah, but I felt like that particular scene in the short was almost just like airlifted into the movie, which is great. But I didn't love the like taping the light thing didn't really make sense to me in the short. And then so I did watch his short called Not Alone in Here, which I didn't watch a whole bunch of his stuff because I was doing research for like 8 YouTube creators, and so I was at this all day, so I only watched a few of his stuff. And one of the things that kind of irritated me about his shorts is that they're all taking place in his house, and it's all like hardwood floors and wooden staircases and stuff, and the wood in their house pops so much that it is just like every step is just like popping wood and creaking and whatever. It became very distracting for me. So it's hard to have that like eerie stillness when it's not even just like the occasional creak, it's just like everywhere. So that was a little distracting. And then for the two that I watched, Not Alone in Here and Lights Out, it essentially had the same monster with the like pointy teeth and like the scary face, and I was just like, oh, I feel like I just saw this. But and the other thing with the Not Alone in Here, she talks to herself, or like she's like narrating over, and I was like, that's pulling me out. But again, it's a fucking YouTube creator. Like, yeah, you did a great job, you know, like this is good stuff. But as like somebody who's analyzing your shorts,
on a lot of his shorts, there is no dialogue. It's all sound,
right,
and stuff like that, which I think is pretty effective.
Yeah.
On those, I like Lights Out too. The only thing that really kind of bothered me, or I just didn't vibe with it, is the ending. Like it was like, cause she basically, you know,
are you gonna get? You gonna?
I'm not gonna spoil it, but I thought like, this is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
I was like, gosh,
yeah,
I'm like,
no, it's
this
a bummer.
like, I'm like, I just thought it was kind of, the ending seemed like too dark for, because the movie's like kind of a fun jump scare type movie.
Yeah.
And the ending seemed like, man, this is kind of heavy for this. There's kids in this movie too. I'm like, what is going on? But I think it's like PG-13, I think.
Is it?
Because there's no, not real bloodshed or anything like that.
Well, the beginning.
But yeah, I just thought like, I mean, it might, like, if the ending didn't
If I could handle Invasion of the Body Snatchers at fucking 6 years old, the kids today can handle.
The kids today.
Yeah, I meant the kid characters in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was just my take. I only saw it once, but I thought it was fine. Yeah, so. But I did, like, I agree with you. I thought Annabelle Creation is the best Annabelle movie by far.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it works the best because it has a plot that I'm like, okay, I'm kind of curious about this, and it's just crafted really well because he knows how to craft those scenes well. Like the other Annabelle, like the first Annabelle movie was just awful, I thought. But this one, Creation was actually pretty solid.
And he was able to kind of make some very corny horror tropes work really well and be really creepy, like, you know, evil scarecrow, sheet ghost. Yeah.
Oh, the
sheet ghost was fucking creepy as hell.
The sheet ghost was so like really scary.
Yeah. It's funny because like in the other Annabelle movies, like I never thought Annabelle was that scary, right?
No.
I'm like, this is not really scary. It looks like Raggedy Ann or something like that, you know? So I'm like, and Raggedy Ann is an old doll for you young people that are listening. I remember one time I said Raggedy Ann and Andy, people were like, who?
Raggedy Ann was the original Annabelle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But I remember like at one point I was mentioning Raggedy Ann and Andy and people looking at me like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's like it's 60s, 70s thing.
Ask your parents.
Yeah. They'll know what it is.
But we have to also talk about Until Dawn.
Yes.
We often do. Yes. That's a good one.
It's a
That might be the third show that we've mentioned it on, I think. Maybe.
And I know that was like one of your, was that on your top 10 of 2025?
It's probably top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
I didn't know that he did it. I mean, I knew, but I didn't put it all together until I was doing research for this, and I was like, holy shit.
It's different than his other movies.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like I saw, like when we watched it was like, oh, directed by David F. Sandberg. I'm like, oh, cool. But it doesn't have a lot of like kind of set pieces that he kind of does. So, but yeah, Until Dawn I think it's totally fun.
And as I think I'm pretty sure I've said before, like it definitely helps to really not be too attached to the video game, or even if you are a fan, if you can just like separate them, because apparently it's very unfaithful to the video game, which had a lot of game fans pissed off. But what it does, I think, is really, really, really cool, which is just kind of leaning into the mechanics of video game play in a very philosophical, existential kind of a way. You know, that you just keep dying and keep coming back, but you remember everything from your previous life. You know, of course, in this movie, the characters like take on more and more damage as they come back, and the stakes get higher and higher. But it all, as a standalone movie, it just completely worked for me. I was very impressed.
Yeah.
It's like is this like 5 for 5 now, mentioning Until Dawn, like on our, like every podcast we mention
maybe.
it.
We just like, we're like, hey,
got a
by the way,
streak
have you
going,
seen
I guess.
Until Dawn?
Yeah.
You guys should check it out. All right, what's next?
Well, next on my notes, I've got Raka Raka.
Oh God, yeah, Raka Raka. Raka Raka. Out of all of the research that I did for all that we're talking about was the channel that I watched the most videos, because they were just fucking weird and violent and strange and funny. And yeah, I went down a deep rocka hole for a while. I had to pull myself out. I was like, you need to move on, girl.
Yeah, and it's like, so basically Rocka is Danny and Michael Philippou. And their channel is called Rocka, and they have many, many different videos they've done over the years. And I was mentioning this to Willy a little bit before we started, but of all the YouTubers that went on to make movies, their short films, I feel, are nothing like their features.
So their features are Talk to Me 2023 and Bring Her Back 2024. But yeah, nothing like their featers.
Yeah.
An amazing evolution that these guys have had. Like, they started off as just like, I mean, like they've never seemed to outgrow just being very, very rowdy, hyperactive boys. But back in the day, like, they were much more juvenile delinquenty. You know, they made a lot of jackass style stunt videos and stuff that were very, very dangerous. And apparently a friend of the family kind of talked them into going towards a more creative, artistic, less risky direction. And so, and they're definitely still pulling off all kinds of unbelievable, crazy, twisted stunts. And but in such a creative way. Like, they seem to, like, yeah, kids who like doing, you know, wrestling matches in the backyard, but who also happen to be big fans of Sam Raimi and Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
The fight scenes that they choreograph are really amazing, and they, I guess, went through a period where they rented a mansion called the House of Rocka, and then around 2018, when YouTube kind of started to change and become a little more censorious and restrictive, they got demonetized, and then they got evicted from the house not too long after that. And that's kind of when they leaned into, like, all right, we're going to try and make features now. And
oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And, you know, and for as hyperactive and aggressive as they are, you know, like, they're a lot of fun to watch on screen. I don't think I could hang out with them in a room for 5 minutes without being driven fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But they're kind of adorable on TV. And when they got the deal with for Talk to Me, like, you can see them break down and cry, and it's really, really cute.
Yeah, you talk about their high octane stunts, and I didn't watch a lot of their stunt videos, but I did watch the Versus series, some of the Versus series. So I watched the Marvel versus DC and the Harry Potter versus Star Wars.
Yeah.
And the stunts that they do in those, though, like, because they're fighting, you know, and so there's all of these stunt scenes of them just, like, throwing each other across the room and, like, using their powers to, you know, like, flip and spin. And it's just like, I was watching these shorts going like, holy shit, this looks like these look like actual movies, you know? And it was wild to watch.
Yeah, they're super well done.
Yeah.
And can we talk about fucking Ronald McDonald?
Ronald
Oh
McDonald!
my God.
Holy shit. I watched so many of these yesterday. I felt like, A, I needed McDonald's, and B, I can never look at that mascot again.
Yeah, it's like bizarre. The what's it called? Playground Massacre one.
Oh my God.
It was pretty insane. And then Ronald McDonald goes to the chicken
store massacre.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Chicken store massacre.
He like takes her head and puts it in the fryer.
Yeah, and then seasons it.
He breaks out the salt. Like, I'm pretty sure it was before Art the Clown thought of it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what? Oh, the salt, when he's like stripping her flesh and putting salt on it in the bedroom. That Art the Clown scene. Yeah,
but those are the Rocka Ronald is like Art the Clown for me, I think.
Yeah,
that's
and
my
he
jam.
talks. If you guys haven't heard or watched any of these videos, you have to.
You really do.
And Ronald McDonald talks like this, and they have to give him subtitles because he just doesn't, so you can't understand him. You're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You have your Halloween costume for this year, I think. You got the voice down. So.
Yeah.
The gore is exquisite. He kills the fuck out of some kids,
He
man. I don't know where
really
they.
does.
How did their parents let them do those movies? But,
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's also a lot of food cleanup in those movies. You know, like
Yeah,
they're just constantly smashing food into people.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, with the Ronald McDonald thing, that's not copy. The name is not.
I don't know how they pull that off.
I
Maybe
mean,
if
they're
it's-
Australian. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different in Australia.
Yeah, could be.
If it's parody, maybe, I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But yeah, like I was saying, their features are so different than their shorts.
Shockingly mature.
Yeah, especially I mean, Talk to Me was like one of my favorite movies of 2022, I think, or 2023. 2023 when that came out. And I recently watched Bring Her Back, and I thought,
Wait, for the first time?
yeah, for
Oh,
the
okay.
first time, and I was like, it's a bleak movie, but it's so well made
Oh yeah.
that I'm like, it's like exquisitely shot, and just atmosphere that they build is so just full of like dread. But I'm like, those guys made this just like a couple of years later, basically,
it was
you know.
a year
So-
later. Yeah.
yeah, but but totally amazing that, like, the growth that you see is
Yeah.
kind of amazing for a short
Most
period of
impressive.
time.
Willie, I think you would really like Bring Her Back if you're in the right headspace for it.
Okay.
It's a great movie,
Yeah.
but it's super sad.
I will not get stoned for it.
Yeah. You just
I
got to
remember Adam had a very bad time with it.
Yes, he did have a very bad time with it. He was like literally mad at the movie. But
I mean, it's very, I think it very mean-spirited.
feel bad movie of the year. Yeah.
But not just feel bad. I think it's kind of like, it's like a mean-spiritedness in the movie.
Oh yeah.
I don't necessarily have a problem with mean-spirited movies. I think Talk to Me has a little bit of that running through it as well, just in the abuse that they put the characters through.
Yeah.
Feels like, they don't like their characters very much.
All right, let's move on. What do we want to talk about now?
A very brief honorable mention. I watched the last Amityville movie a second time and realized it wasn't as good as I thought it was the first time. It has some problems. It has a few pacing problems. I'll give it that. But Josh Beagle at Movie Timelines, it's a fine little movie if you don't expect the world from it, especially for the budget and the limitations that he had. Okay, moving on.
What about Bite-Sized Nightmares?
We'll get there for sure.
Okay.
And I guess I'm going to give a brief mention personally to Markiplier. I haven't seen Iron Lung. I don't know if either of you guys have.
No,
It's not streaming anywhere yet.
it's being digitally released on YouTube Movies May 31st, so it should be released this weekend.
Yeah, this Friday,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, curious. As far as all these YouTubers go, I think he's probably the one that I'm the least interested in. He does mostly like Let's Play videos of him playing video games and reacting to them.
Yeah, I watched some of his Try Not to Laugh challenges, which were funny because the compilation memes were funny, but it didn't really have anything to do with him as a creator, you know?
Right.
So they were entertaining in their own right, but not really like didn't really reflect him as a creator in any way.
Yeah, I kind of see him as more of just kind of an online personality than a creator. I know he does make stuff, but I don't know. It seems just kind of like he's performing or whatever. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I mean that would also make sense considering that he starred in Iron Lung.
For sure.
So he wants to be on camera.
Yeah. Shirtless, apparently.
Yeah.
But I'll keep my judgment reserved until I see it, and I am definitely curious about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But moving on to Kyle Edward Ball and Bite-Sized Nightmares. Basically, this channel is, I think he started off by filming some of his own nightmares and then invited his viewers to share their own with him. And he's like, if I like it enough, I'll film it. And there's just tons and tons and tons of these things. the easiest way to describe his style, probably almost insultingly easy, would be like if David Lynch directed The Shining. But I mean, if the shoe fits, that's kind of it. I think my favorites were probably Nightmare 13, Witch, and then I think there was one called Flicker that I really like because I'm just a sucker for strobes in general. But yeah, I like this kind of thing. I like a good, weird, artsy-fartsy, surrealist nightmare.
Yeah, I liked Heck.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. It's very much like Skinamarink.
It was the proof of concept for Skinamarink.
Yeah. You could see where this is going. And it's like 30 minutes long, which maybe Skinamarink should have been that long too. But no, these are movies that you really need to have headphones on, sit in the dark, be focused, or halfway focused. I mean, halfway, you know what I mean.
Really fucking high.
Yeah. Because they're just audio and visually immersive. Mm-hmm. And that's the best way, I would say, to experience this filmmaker's work.
Yeah, he specializes in like very limited visual information, like concrete visual information, but he kind of coats it all in like a whole bunch of visual noise. Especially like that's pretty much what Skinamarink is all about. Mm-hmm. And he lets you kind of fill in the blanks with your imagination, but like the film grain or digital noise or TV static or whatever it is kind of becomes a Rorschach test, and you just kind of wait to see what you see in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all unnerving and claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Which is like,
yeah,
for a lot of people, that's not enjoyable. But,
well, yeah,
I enjoyed especially elements of it. So.
Yeah, I couldn't get into them. And perhaps it was because I wasn't giving them the time that they deserved. Because I was watching them as research. And so a lot of it was like kind of fast forwarding to moments and then like giving it a beat and then fast forwarding and giving it a beat. And I did watch Heck all the way through. And I really respect what he's going for. I just don't think it's for me. And I think that if I was in the right headspace and in the right like mood, I could definitely, because I saw Skinamarink in the theater, and I really liked it, but it was too long and I started falling asleep and I was just like, God damn it. So I watched it again at home and I turned out all the lights and I watched it by myself. And I definitely vibed with it, but I don't think I could do that over and over and over with all of these shorts. But I really respect what he's doing. I think that it's very creative. I just don't think they're for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I missed Skinamarink in the theaters, which I do regret. I've heard some people say that the ideal way to watch it is, at home, with headphones on in the dark. I've heard some people even say like on a laptop, but I watched it on a real TV, and I will say I wouldn't go so far as to say it should have been 20 minutes, but I did several times in the movie. Like it was like kind of a cycle. Like I'd be like, yeah, I'm into this. This is great. I'm totally hooked. And then like, okay, yeah, this is going on for a while. How long is this movie? Is he really going to be able to pull this off for a fucking hour and 40? Really? Okay, no, I'm going to hang in. Okay. Oh shit. It's like every once in a while, just a very well-placed scare just completely nailed me. And I know that, like drawing it out probably has something to do with it. I don't know if drawing it out that long is essential for that.
Yeah.
But I also know that other filmmakers, particularly David Lynch, especially later in his career, Inland Empire and season 3 of Twin Peaks, that was very, very, very intentional on his part to like really just drag time the fuck out. And some of his fans took that as like him like trolling the audience almost, and I'm like, no, he's trying to like trick you into meditating. He's like trying to alter your consciousness, and I think that's what Kyle Ball was doing with Skinamarink. Maybe not quite as completely successful as David Lynch, but I was a fan of Skinamarink. There were 2 scenes that did freak me the fuck out. So,
Yeah.
It's like the first time I tried to watch Skinamarink, it was like I was not in. It was just like lights were on, too distracted.
Yeah.
So about 15 minutes in, I'm like, well, I'll come back to this. And it took me a long time to go back to it. But when I did, I was more focused and did kind of like turn the lights off and just like put my phone away and not be distracted by anything. Just try to jump into this and be fully invested. But I did have the same thing. I'm like, okay, when is, it's like, how much longer is this? You're like, and then I agree with you. Like the jump scares, you're like, oh, and then it kind of gets you back into it again. But then it's just like, my one complaint is just, it's a little long in the tooth.
The glowing eyes fucking nailed me. It was so good. And Patton Oswalt said the best thing about it. He said it was about the benign neglect of the 70s parent.
And the 80s parent, if we're being honest with ourselves.
Sure. Latchkey kids.
Mm-hmm.
We want to... Okay, so we've mostly done... Go ahead.
Oh, we're going to leave Curry Barker last, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, aside from Nostalgia Critic, I think we're mentioning our first actual critic-turned-filmmaker with Chris Stuckman.
Oh, yeah.
I think you have more recall of Shelby Oaks than I do. I know we all watched it together, but I was a little bit altered, and I don't remember a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
But he's been a YouTube critic for years and years and years. Personally, I don't vibe with his reviews very much. I find them to be a little bit surface level. But I know you were a big fan of Shelby Oaks.
Yeah, I was. I did watch some of his reviews for this, and I agree with you. I didn't vibe with his reviews either. I didn't feel a lot of him. Like, I don't know him or his personality, but I didn't feel any of him come through with the reviews. They just, again, you said it perfectly. They felt surface level.
Kind of like the reviews that you get like in the weekend section of your local paper.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a really big horror movie fan, so he does kind of lean back on other movies to compare it to, or tropes or filmmakers or whatever, which is, useful and great. But I'm kind of, from my perspective, I'm looking for a personality to kind of come through. And he just didn't have a lot of that for me. However, and it's interesting. So one of the things that I love about this project, for this podcast, is that all of these creators are so different. You've got a video game reviewer / kind of like internet personality. You've got actual filmmakers, you've got horror movie reviewers. It just feels like you've got animation. You've got people who do animation, which we'll talk about in a second. But and then the stunts, and then the like skits, and the comedy skits, and then the like. It's just all over the place. It's not just filmmakers making horror movie content later. It's just all of these creative aspects coming in to make really awesome horror movies, which is really impressive. So Shelby Oaks, which was a found footage film that he crowdfunded, and him and his wife wrote the script, and he directed it. But Shelby Oaks is found footage, and it is, about this woman who's looking for her sister who disappeared a long time ago. And essentially everybody had stopped looking. And her sister used to be kind of like a ghost hunter. So, or like an internet ghost hunter. So there was a lot of footage of her and her friends going to these spooky locations and, investigating a ghost or a haunting or a story or whatever. And so this sister who's looking for her sister is going through all of this old footage of hers and trying to look for clues, and she finds them. And it's fucking so well done. I love this movie. I've seen it like 3 times. Camille Sullivan is the main actress who plays Mia, the older sister who's looking for her younger sister. And she was so phenomenal in it. I loved watching her on screen. She was so ballsy as a character, but also very vulnerable as well. So to watch this guy who I felt like was kind of a wooden like horror movie reviewer crank out a movie that I thought was so full of heart and personality was really impressive. Do you remember Shelby Oaks?
I remember some of it. I was with you guys when we saw it, and it was during one of our winter slaughter weekends.
Oh yeah, you were there, weren't you? I forgot a little bit.
Yeah. So I remember thinking it was okay, but I need to watch it again to have really any sort of honest opinion on it.
Sure, that's fine.
I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
That and Dust Bunny, I have no fucking memory of either of them.
Okay.
You love found footage movies,
I
though.
do, yeah. Found footage is kind of top 5 subgenres for me.
I do too.
Yeah. All right. What is left on our list aside from Curry Barker?
If we want to mention Kane Parsons, which his movie hasn't come out yet. We're waiting on that. It's coming out this Friday. I've been a big fan of his Backrooms YouTube series forever and ever. His lore, everybody knows it at this point. He was 16 when he started, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't old enough to drink when he got hired by A24 as the youngest person to ever live on the planet. We all know that.
And we're very happy for you.
Abso-fucking-lutely, man. And he and Curry, they both give great fucking interviews.
Yeah.
They are such,
oh, really?
Yeah.
I've seen Curry Barker's interviews, but I haven't watched Kane Parsons' interview.
Kane's a little bit more nerdy and monotone,
Yeah.
but every bit as intelligent.
Yeah. I did watch, so he's most famous for the Backroom series, which I've seen a lot of Backroom videos, and I love them. But I did watch his series called The Oldest View.
Oh, yeah.
And that was fucking weird as hell. It was like kind of this buried mall that is abandoned but not abandoned. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure
There's
some
at least
of it out.
one occupant.
Yes, there's that one occupant. And then the demolition, I didn't really understand what the third video was with the demolition of the mall.
Oh, did I even see that one? I'm not sure if I did.
Yeah, it was in the series of The Oldest View, but I couldn't figure out the correlation with the first 2 videos. So those are cool. I would check those out if you're into his Backroom series. It's kind of like it's still very liminal spaces. You know, you've got this endless fucking staircase into the depths of hell, and then
that's some Carl Jung shit right there.
And then
Staircase in the forest.
And then you're suddenly in this underground mall that when you go out into, there is a tree growing in the middle of, and also a skylight. So you're just like, what is even happening? That was really fun. But the Backroom series,
yeah. That mall, I don't know, just to backtrack slightly for a second, but that kind of stuff is straight out of my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I have weird dreams about malls and caves and
I love malls,
subterranean malls and whatnot.
Yeah.
But, and that rolling giant is a very dreamlike figure.
Yeah.
But where we're talking about Backrooms, yeah. So again, I don't know if anybody doesn't know the lore of the Backrooms as a concept, but started off as a creepypasta on 4chan. One photograph, one little paragraph caption description, and the internet just took it and ran with it. Everyone's got their own kind of version of it, but Kane's has been the most easily the most popular. The first one that I saw of his was the one that's just called Found Footage, which I think he's I don't know if he's playing himself, but he's playing a character making a dumb movie with his teenage friends, and he no clips into the Backrooms and meets a little friend down there. Definitely taps into that corporate misery that is lurking in all of our collective unconscious. You can smell that picture.
So I went down another rabbit hole. This one was 45 minutes long. I Googled the back room, the original photo, because I just kind of wanted to know the history of it and what it looked like. And I found this video by Kendra Gaylord, who I instantly started following on YouTube because she was so interesting and captivating. She does a lot of architectural talks and research, and she talks about why like Victorian houses are scary, and like she basically talks about the backroom photo, and it's so the video is so long because she essentially talks about how this photo came to be on the internet, and that there was this group of people who essentially just like researched the shit out of it and actually found the building. And it's in like Oshkosh, Wisconsin or some shit like that. And they found the building, and she researched the building, the history of the building, what this thing was when the photograph was taken, why the photograph is so unnerving. She like points out all of the like stuff about the photo, goes into great detail about, architecture and it was fucking fascinating. So she does talk about this photo, this backroom photo, but she also talks about everything surrounding it and why it worked so well. Fascinating video.
I must check this out.
Yeah, I'll send you a link, but Kendra Gaylord on YouTube, look her up and then find the backroom research video that she did.
Oh, I will.
Real good.
And his feature comes out this Friday, right?
Is it this Friday?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm very excited. I first stumbled on, I think it was like a Bloody Disgusting article like 2 or 3 years ago, talking about the back rooms. And I, went to the link that they had in their article, and I started watching, one of the most famous ones. And I was like, holy shit, this hits so hard for me. And I just started watching, all of them, not all of them, because there's so many, but, I think he's great, and I cannot wait to see his movie.
Yeah. The kind of the world building that he does with them, it's a little more sci-fi, which it does work. Like sci-fi is the portal that gets you there, and maybe it's a little bit reminiscent of Stranger Things, but it was around before that, of course. I'm pretty sure. It's like finding a scientific portal into a dream, and then once you get in there, reality just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what the budget for the feature is?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, curious.
I want to give a shout out to Michael Shanks, who is a YouTuber known as Tim Timfed, and he essentially does a lot of shorts on his channel. He did a mini series called The Wizard of Aeus that was really popular. It's a fantasy web series. And then he did short films that were kind of old school animated, called Rebooted, and one called Time Trap. I watched Rebooted. It was really good. I watched a lot of this stuff, and I was very impressed by all of this. But he did the movie Together with Dave Franco and Allison Brie, and that is a movie that I watched last year and absolutely loved. So I was very impressed that this little short filmmaker created this really fucking weird body horror movie that just hit really hard. And he's Australian as well.
He went totally under my radar in my research here, so thank you for pointing him
out. But I think we're going to end this podcast with talking about the movie that we're all obsessed with, and the creator, and his channel, and everything about him.
Yeah, let us be the 4,085th podcast to talk about how fucking much we love Obsession, and how much we're looking forward to whatever Curry Barker has in store for us next, which we know what that is at that point. And I gotta say, at this point, I've been so can we please never make a goddamn another Texas Chainsaw movie again? Oh wait, Curry Barker. Okay, all right. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got.
Is A24 is making
Yeah.
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
But he's got something else coming out, right? It's like something about the ghosts.
Yeah,
Something.
anything but ghosts.
Anything but ghosts.
Is that based on a book?
I don't know. I haven't looked into this movie at all. So yeah, Anything But Ghosts is the upcoming supernatural movie directed and written by Barker and Cooper, his partner on his channel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I think he said something about like it's dealing with that kind of the trope of like the skeptic who refuses to believe.
Oh, yeah. Premise: two fake paranormal investigators must face actual ghosts while dealing with the deception of their own fraudulent business.
Okay.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I did hear him interview. He said it's more of a comedy than...
Yeah, that's what I...
But it's not just a horror comedy. It's,
Yeah.
like his vibe of serious and funny.
Yeah, give us a little palate cleanser after that gut punch of a movie, my friend.
Yeah. So... Curry Barker, his YouTube channel is That's a Bad Idea. His comedy partner is Cooper Tomlinson.
Yes.
And yeah, they've been. We all know, or we should all know, that his found footage horror film Milk and Cereal went viral when it came out. And we've all seen Milk and Cereal, I assume.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I read that he spent a year trying, or they spent a year trying to get distribution for the movie, and then nobody would take it, so he just put it on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
Because no one wanted it, and the movie was made for
$800.
$800 over 4 months,
Something like
just
that. Yeah.
with friends on weekends and things like that. So yeah, pretty impressive.
Super impressive.
Yeah.
And again, just another reason to worship at the altar of YouTube, however fucked up and corporate it might be getting, and however much you might have to censor yourself when you're on there. It's got its issues, but it's still an amazing platform, and I'm so glad it exists. But yeah, I went down the That's a Bad Idea rabbit hole recently as well, and you can definitely tell that they were inspired by Key and Peele with the sketch comedy, but they do make their own thing about it. They do have, like, instead of an anger translator, they have a subtext translator for men and women communicating on dates, which is quite funny. But as horror shorts, aside from Milk and Cereal, there's one called The Chair, which I guess initially he was approached about developing that one into a feature, and he said, actually, I've got this other idea. Can I pitch that one instead? And that became Obsession. Very Lynchy, with a little bit of J-horror thrown in there, and a lot of comedy too. But if I was gonna interpret The Chair as being about anything, I could see like the chair being like the initial disruption in a relationship, just like the first time that your partner does something, you're like, what the fuck did you just do? Do I even know you? Or whatever. Yeah. And you either get over it or you break up, I guess.
Yeah, and the fact that this happens on their anniversary, where he wrote her a note that says "Together Forever," and the littlest thing that he did just threw a wrench into everything. Yeah, I thought it was pretty creepy. I liked it. There's a scene where when they're both in bed and they both wake up to see the guy sitting in the chair, and she's they're both like, ah, and she's like screaming, and then she stops and does that creepy smile that Indy Navarrete does in Obsession, and goes right back to sleep. And I was like, holy shit, that is totally an Obsession move right there.
Yeah, you could see some of the seeds of Obsession.
There's a few things that he definitely likes. He likes to pay homage to that ghost walk in Pulse. And he likes bricks in the face. I don't know what that says, but it's got to mean something. I don't know.
Oh, man. All right. Do you guys want to talk about Obsession, or do you want to...
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I don't think I've seen a horror movie since... I don't think I've seen a horror movie this year that I love this much.
I'm still trying to decide if I like it or the Bone Temple more.
Oh, okay.
They might be tied.
Yeah. No, it's obsession.
Fair enough. Yeah, I will not argue that with you. What are my notes here? Michael Johnston is very Friday for Crispin and Glover. He does Survive the Beaver, I bet you.
Yeah,
One can have a good time without there having to be girls all about.
yeah, I think we don't have to go through the plot. 'Cause I'm sure anybody listening to this knows what Obsession is about or has seen it by this point. But yeah, this movie is like so kind of ratcheted up to 10, like pretty much immediately. I just had that kind of feeling of like uneasiness through the entire thing.
Yeah.
Which I loved. And there is some wonderful dark comedy in this movie that I thought was sublime.
And a moment of just regular comedy. That opening scene is so like genuinely hilarious that it's like it's disarming. Like you know it's gonna get fucked up, but that scene just like totally like I let my guard down because it was like okay, I'm in really good hands here. These guys know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved. So, as our listeners should know by now, we are the Portland Horror Trivia Massacre, and in the movie, they talk about trivia and how like it's a sacred night and don't fuck up trivia.
Yes.
You know, because he's basically going to confess his love to one of the friends that goes to trivia. So there's like 4 of them that go to trivia, and he's like, don't fuck up trivia. Don't fuck up trivia nights. It's all I have, or it's the night of the week I most look forward to, and that really spoke to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need to write that speech down and say it at the beginning of every game.
Exactly.
A couple of things that really stood out in the film for me is the score by Rock Burwell. I thought was extremely effective. There's a couple of like jump scares where it's basically just the score kind of tells you how to feel, and I thought that was extremely effective. I loved the cinematography of the movie because it's very dark. And every time, I know this was deliberate, they show her, she's like concealed in shadows, part of her face or all of her face for a lot of the scenes. One scene I thought was outstanding is when she shows up, this is not really a spoiler at all, shows up at his front door wearing the red dress, and she's kind of standing in the doorway in the shadows, and you never really get a good look at her face. She's talking to him, and he's kind of freaked out. But you see a reflection in her eyes, and they're like red.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh man, this is like so good.
Yeah.
So hot.
Yeah. And then like one thing that totally like I like guffawed in the theater, like laughed out loud. My sister looked at me like, God, what the hell's so funny? She's like, my sister was stressed the hell out. It's like when he goes back to the shop.
Oh my God.
And like, trying to find the One Wish Willows. And he wants to, like talking to the store owner, and he's like, man, you read the packaging, man, come on, it says warnings on there. Like totally busted up.
It
made me think of the human Sentai Pad episode of South Park.
Oh yeah.
Did you read the terms and conditions?
Yeah,
and he calls the like 1-800 number on there.
Yes.
That scene that he has in the car, oh my God, that was so good.
Oh, we don't do that, man. My sister, she asked me, who was that guy? Demons,
Customer service.
Curry Barker.
Yeah. I don't know what this movie would have been without Indy Nivaretti. That woman, Jesus fucking Christ.
Seriously.
She was so brilliant. So fucking brilliant. I've watched some interviews with her and Curry, and the way that they worked together was just such an artistic collaboration that it was like, I don't think you could have had that Nikki without Curry's input, but the way that Indy committed to that role and just kind of like she mentioned something in an interview where she was like, I don't need to be directed. I need to be coached. And she was like, I just need a coach, and Curry was like the best coach. And so it was just like this really interesting collaboration of artists that pulled out this performance so brilliantly. I just could not take my eyes off of her. Her voice, her body language, you know, she's so short and small too, where she just like feels like a non-threat. But as soon as you see her, you're just like, that is a feral fucking animal, you know? Like, get it out of my house.
Yeah. One of the great things about it, because like that night when I was thinking about the movie after I'd seen it, I was like, yeah, every time she's on screen, you don't feel comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Because, and like you said, she's very like demure and small, but you're like, oh no, her character is, because of what's happened to her, so unhinged that you're like, oh, I can't relax, right? But I agree with you. I think like her performance is going to go down as really one of the best, especially of the last 5 years.
Oh yeah.
There have been many comparisons to Toni Collette in Heredity.
Yeah.
Hereditary.
Yeah, because Colette totally committed to that performance, and I think like Indy totally commits to this one, and I mean, she sells the movie.
Yeah.
She may get a nom. I don't know. We'll
I mean,
see.
this movie is just a classic in the making. I will fight you on it. Like,
Absolutely. I mean, it's so good that like, I mean, like as we've touched upon a couple times, I think already in this episode, like I'm very, very picky about my super nihilistic, mean, bleak movies. I remember I got about halfway through Smile 2, and I liked it, but I was just like, I don't want to fucking be here, man. I hate this. But
did you finish it?
I haven't finished it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to. But
did you like Smile?
But it was good. I liked it up until the Smile demon went, "You can't hide from your own mind." I was like, okay, I'm out of the movie. That's really good. But yeah, I mean, this one had me absolutely hooked, and everything about it is so goddamn well done, and all of the bleakness and the meanness is like motivated. It's all telling a very compelling, riveting fucking story. And I guess I don't have all the details down, but I guess without going into any spoilers, the ending that they went with was not what was originally written. Like someone just kind of suggested, like, Curry, you've got to do an ending where this happens. It's like, okay. And then like once they shot it, everyone was like, you have to use that ending.
Yeah, I read the same thing.
That's pretty awesome to have somebody who's such a confident, unbelievably confident, sure-footed director who was that open to notes that he changed his fucking ending.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
They interview him in the most recent Rue Morgue issue, Rue Morgue magazine issue, and it's a really awesome interview.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will go pick that up when I go sign my copies of Shadowplay that are at your store.
Yay!
So this is the movie to beat for you for 2026, correct?
Oh yeah.
I'll be shocked if it gets beaten.
Yeah, no, it probably.
Very happily shocked.
Yeah.
Like, we're eating pretty good in the last couple of years, horror-wise.
I mean, for me, it's like it's between this and Bone Temple for my favorite so far.
Yeah.
Of the year, so.
I loved Bone Temple, but I don't think I loved Bone Temple.
And another very exciting thing about this movie in particular, going into the background lore a little bit, Curry Barker so far hasn't gone into it at all, but referencing the scene where he goes back to the magic shop, the mystic shop, there's that shelf in that store, which is called the Green Man, which is a real store, apparently. And on their website, they do have an FAQ, and at one point they do say, "We tend to think of black magic as magic that or spells that usurp the free will of another being, and we do not recommend that." But the store is called the Green Man, which is an ancient mythological masculine symbol that was also exploited to great effect in Alex Garland's Men. But on that shelf next to the One Wish Willow are a couple of other items that are apparently all made by Tabby Cat Curiosities, the company. There's a voodoo doll on that shelf. There's a magic eye, a chromoscope, and a fazuri, which might be a spirit camera. And so Barker was talking about the possibility of doing something in an anthology format.
Right.
Where he was specifically saying like different people making wishes, but I'm like, you could use all these fucking items. It could be like the new Friday the 13th, the series. You know?
Yeah.
That could be so much fun.
Yeah, I remember that now, and I was like, I will fucking watch the shit out of that. I did want to mention, because I was reminded, the One Wish Willow packaging. Apparently, Curry Barker's mom is a graphic designer.
Yes.
And she designed that packaging, which I thought was really sweet.
And I think he already said in an interview that there's no plans for a Obsession 2, or at least he doesn't have one.
Yeah, I don't.
That's a self-contained story.
Yeah,
I don't need to see where it goes.
I agree.
Yeah, but
I'd love to see some other people trying out some of those items.
Even the One Wish Willow and different, because I mean, there's the billionaire scene in Obsession, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
So just like how these wishes can just go sideways.
I could see you could turn it into a franchise.
You do wonder if every wish is an evil monkey's paw kind of a wish, or if you can have a benevolent wish that just goes well for you.
I don't think so. It just seems like the nature of that. Nothing comes easy.
Like, I wish my house was yellow. Yeah. And then what? It's covered in pee. I have no idea. Do we want to start talking about some of the Portland proper things that are happening?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that we've mentioned in the past is that that the Portland Horror Trivia Massacre is at the 99 West Drive-In in Newburgh in Oregon this summer. We're being a little bit more selective about our nights there just because the drive is so far and gas is so fucking expensive. But we were there last Thursday, was it? And that was for Scream and Friday the 13th Part 2. And then on June 4th, so they're called Thursday Night Terrors, and June 4th is The Fog and Evil Dead 2. We don't know if we're going to be there necessarily for trivia, but it's a really fun night, and there's always horror vendors out there, and so if you have the opportunity, go and support. It's a good time. And
what better movie could you watch at the drive-in than fucking Evil Dead 2?
Right.
Glasses. Sorry. Oh, yeah. This is something, technically we're being a little cruel by pointing it out because it is already sold out, but maybe we can sneak in and just watch from the side or something. Weird War is putting on the Sleepover Slaughter on June 27th in Silver Falls, Oregon. They are showing Jeff Lieberman's slasher masterpiece Just Before Dawn. It is one of my favorite slasher movies. I think it is the last word in outdoor slasher movies.
Agreed.
And it was filmed on location in Silver Falls, Oregon. Lieberman is going to be there, and I've got to find some way to finagle my way into this goddamn thing. And we've talked a lot about our annual slaughter events. We do one in the summer and one in the winter. We've been doing the summer one for 20 years, and I don't know if the guys at Weird War heard through the grapevine that we do this and we're like, hey, we should do that too, or if it's just something that was in the air that they picked up on. But either way, cool.
So do you know if it's like a campground or...
It is. I know that they were selling tickets. I think they were $100 a pop.
100 to 400.
And it's just for one night, right?
Yeah, but you camp.
Yeah.
And I think part of your...
And there's DJs and stuff. They probably got some other things going on too.
Right, and the director's there, so...
Yeah.
Jeff
I wonder if the
Lieberman's gonna be
director's
there.
camping.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think he lives somewhere... Doesn't Jeff Lieberman live somewhere in the Northwest?
I thought he was a New Yorker, but he might have moved.
Oh, okay. Yeah, could be. What are we talking about next? What do we have? Oh, yeah. The Portland Horror Film Festival is happening June 3rd to the 7th at the Hollywood Theater and the Clinton Street Theater here in Portland, Oregon. They've been doing this festival for many, many, many years. They also run the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival. It's Gwen and Brian.
For as long as I've been here, which is, you know, like 15 years.
Yeah, they've been
so?
doing it for, well over 15 years by now. I know they took over the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival from Andrew Migliore, right?
Yes.
Yeah, who did it before them. But yeah, they run a great festival. It'll be happening. There's a streaming version of the festival for you out-of-towners that is the 7th through the 12th. And one of the events and guests that are going to be at the festival is George Michalka, who directed My Bloody Valentine, the original from 1981. That film is celebrating its 45th anniversary this year. So they're having a screening, and he will be there live and in person.
The movie that inspired the name of the best band to ever live.
Okay. And he stands by it.
Yeah, that's a great slasher. I'm so sorry that never got a sequel.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? I mean, that's upsetting.
Got a remake, which is also upsetting.
I thought the remake was fun. It's got your two boys.
It helps to
I
be
know.
your
It's got my one boy.
Supernatural,
Not Jared Padalecki, but
the other one.
yeah. My oh my God. Why can't I remember his name? Jensen Ackles.
There you go.
Oh boy, he was about to unfriend me from Facebook. I don't know.
Your imaginary.
I'm kidding. Yeah, my imaginary boyfriend was about to break up with me.
You can use a One Wish Willow on him or something like that.
Oh
Perfect,
my
perfect.
God, I totally
You
would.
would, right?
I absolutely would. Yep. And then Curry Barker can make a movie out of it. All right, I think that's it. We've covered a lot of ground.
We run the gamut.
Yeah.
And if you want to see us, you can come see us, every 2 weeks at Cult Classics, or every other Tuesday at Cult Classics
Yep.
for the Portland Horror Trivia Massacre.
That's
It's always a
right.
great time.
Would love to see you.
Get there by 6:30, folks.
Yeah.
Fills up fast.
Fills up fast. All right, y'all. See you next time.